And we're back with another Gaming Pulpit episode. And this time we are going to be talking about fucking internet outrage. It is getting up to critical mass right now. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is consistently, it is too much. It's entirely too much. You know, for instance, I sub to some users and stuff like that, some internet websites and things of that nature. And just on my news feed is this: you got Bethesda says Sony is blocking crossplay, right? You have unbelievable breaking news, and this is about the fucking crossplay shit. You know what I mean? Is Kojima from the Metal Gear Solid creator? Is he pretentious? It is like, what the fuck? Everything is just complaints on top of complaints on top of complaints on top of complaints. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. I don't understand. Multiplayer should be free. That's another one. This is one particularly I want to address. So this is a guy called Griffin Gaming, and he proclaims or preclaims whatever the fuck it is. I'm not really in my head right now that multiplayer should be free for console gamers. All right, so this is going to seem like I'm just going to sit there and be like, okay, so you know it should be free because that's pro consumer and stuff like that. And honestly, in this day and age, no, let me just say this, and I'm not even being politically correct here. Of course I would like it for it to be free. I didn't like it when Sony announced that the PlayStation uh, Plus is going to be mandatory and we have to pay for online gaming. You know what I mean? I didn't like that. I didn't like any of that. It's not that I was really big on multiplayer or anything like that. It's just that that was like a crazy ass switch. But here's the thing: no company, and I'll say this again, there is no company that is looking out for you. They don't care. They want their money. Point blank period. That's what it is. And for anybody to sit there and say that one company is better than the other, they're stupid. They're fooling themselves and they're secretly a fanboy. This Griffin kid, this Griffin gaming kid, it's fucking, I hate his voice. I honestly do. Um, he has a very pretentious like flavor to his voice, and it's very irritating to me. But he mentions that it all should be free because it's pro-consumer. Microsoft shouldn't be doing it. Um, Nintendo shouldn't be doing it, and PlayStation shouldn't be doing it. But here's the thing: in this day and age, everybody's out to grab money, and no matter how much we outcry and are super offended by the fact that you know um, we have to pay for online gaming, it's a fact of life. I work for a company where I get consistent complaints about services that they purchased and that they want for a lower rate all the time, and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But anyway, this guy goes on to say that you are a complete fanboy if you justify this. Now here's the thing: what happens with Microsoft, and this is what pisses me off because in this day and age, social media is huge. It's huge. So when Microsoft was playing this shit about 10 years, what was it? 7 years ago, 10 years ago, I guess. No one said a fucking thing about paying for online just to chat with their friends, and you got that shit wrong. You need to actually pay for online game. I mean, sorry, pay for Xbox Live to chat with your friends, and you also need it for free to play games. But anyway, going back to 10 years ago, he sits there and he says, you know what I mean? We can't let this happen, and it's about what about meisms and or what about another company isms or whatever the case is. This is when you complain and say that just justify your favorite company that this company did it a long time ago, whatever the case is. All I'm saying is that you should express and you should honestly you it's very annoying. If you're going to be outraged about something, be outraged about everything. But anyway, going back to what he was saying, as I'm all over the place. Um, look at what Microsoft did to their Xbox Live service. When they announced it, the only thing that it did is allow for cross game chat. Um, it allowed for you connecting to your friends, and that was it. No store with the discounts. Well, you get no discounts. You get no free to play games, or not free because it's not really free, but you get no games with gold or anything like that. They just said, hey, if you want to play with your friends, pay the fucking $60 to $50 at the time, and that was it. It was until Sony came out with their fucking PlayStation Plus and then tied it to the online gaming tied it to online gaming, and they gave you the fucking games as incentive for you to buy their service or whatever the case is when they decided to kind of double back on it and copy, and that's what they ended up doing. And all of a sudden, it's even playing field or whatever. But let's not forget you know what they're actually doing. Microsoft actually started off. They took all that money from their consumers, and they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing to benefit the gamers. And the same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo's going to do the same shit. Now it's going to come off as me sounding like I'm trying to take up for Sony or whatever the case is. But hey, this particular game, Gravity Rush, is what you're seeing right now. If I'm telling you right now, if PlayStation Plus, if any fraction of the money is going to go towards making a game like this again, because these games are not fucking free, and these are hugely they're risky. If this is going to allow for them to be more inventive with the type of games that they want to release, then I'll pay for it in the long run. Think about PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live for the matter. So I'm not going to include Nintendo in this. They have no fucking right to charge for whatever the fuck that service is. That doesn't offer much of anything except for, I don't know, 30-year-old games. Shit, when I was a fucking baby and shit like that. But think of it like Costco. One could argue, oh, Steam doesn't charge for online gaming and stuff like that. But at the same time, Steam doesn't make their own games or publishes their shit. At least not anymore. And if they did, they haven't published the game in fucking 7 years? They're not planning on publishing this shit. They don't want to invest in the money. I don't know of any fucking game that Steam and the company that controls that, what they're going to release. They haven't made another fucking Half-Life. They've fucking scrapped that. No more Portal. No more Team Fortress Classics. They haven't released shit for the last 8 years. So how else? Of course it's going to be free. But like I said before, Microsoft gave it a really bad name because they didn't give you shit for it until the competition came out of nowhere. This company has consistently screwed over their user base. Consistently. And then this outcry, this outraged media, this culture right now where everything's offensive and everything is just a fucking problem and you can never be grateful for anything. So, and one of my fucking issues is that we're getting games like The Last of Us 2, Part 2, we're getting games like Days Gone, we're getting games like Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm sure to keep these studios in line, a portion of that fucking PlayStation Plus money is going towards that shit. I'm pretty positive about that. That's the funny thing. I'm pretty sure that they're getting a kickback of that shit. So, at least they're taking the money and doing something with it. Yes, Steam is not charging you for the shit. Yes, they have deals too. That's another thing that Griffin also said. He totally said that, oh, well, there's no other game. Like, he just makes these absolute comments, which really pisses me off. Like, it has to be right. And then he'll do this thing, and you can look at his show too, or his YouTube channel. He'll say something and he makes it seem like you have an opinion on it. But he was like, oh, if you believe in this is really fucking stupid and you're just a fanboy. But hey, if you believe otherwise, just leave it in the comments. Like, you already made the fucking decision for me, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Now I feel like shit for believing in what the fuck I want. And it's this echo chamber type culture that's going on where one person will parrot some shit, or not parrot, would recite some shit, and everybody else would parrot the shit. Also, Foxy Games UK, I was with him up until the point where he started being like real pro Xbox, and his reasoning for being pro Xbox was social media is making him hateful and some shit like that, and give Microsoft a fucking chance. Now look at Porter Rock, which is another one. Porter Rock 77. I'm dropping these names here, but Porter Rock 77. He mentions that he shows the game like the E3 game list or game or the awards for E3, and they only had like fucking 3 games. Not even that they were nominated or not. They didn't make that many games for them to win E3, I guess, quote unquote. Like everyone kept reciting and repeating this whole thing, like, oh, well, guess what? Um, Microsoft won E3 because of their presentation. And as Porter Rock 77 said, and I'm going to sound like I'm parroting, but he's absolutely right. It's at this point in time where you use your own logic. You can't play a fucking presentation. At the end of the day, it's about the games. And they didn't really show anything that I couldn't play on my PS4. And everything that the Halo game that they showed, you look at the shit. The Halo game that they actually showed, which was ridiculous, is a tech demo. And what the fuck do I care about that? Like if I was a fan, you didn't show any fucking gameplay yet again. And then Microsoft actually came out and said that we don't show our games way ahead in advance. You just fucking did. That Halo game ain't fucking ready for the next 3 fucking years. You showed Crackdown, and Crackdown was fucking 4 years into it. And it still hasn't been released. You know what I mean? This company, this Microsoft company, has consistently lied, and that's why they get the fucking hate that they get. And they deserve it. And what you get here is a minority that are fans of Microsoft for whatever fucking reason. Maybe nostalgia of when they were with their college boys or college friends and they drank and played Gears of War or whatever the fuck happened with what they were doing. And they want those good years back. They didn't give a fuck about you then because they had all the opportunity when Xbox Live or when, the Xbox 360 came, was out and well into its years. They just ditched the gaming altogether and went straight to fucking Netflix. They never cared about them and they don't have no pride in their stuff. Yes, everybody, including me, is looking for fucking money. That is right. But you still have to have pride in your craft, and that's why I like Sony. And Nintendo even. Nintendo actually has pride in their craft as well. They do a lot of things fucked up, but they still have pride in their craft. You can't get it fucked up. You know what I mean? But this outcry, this outrage about this fucking cross-game chat that the minority cares about. If 80 million fucking people purchased a PS4, no one's fucking caring about cross-game or cross-play. No one cares about that shit. And let's just say for the new generation, even if there were enough people to care about this shit, you know what I mean? Here's the fucking big problem about this shit. Here's the big kicker. Not every fucking developer, especially the big ones like Ubisoft, EA, Activision, they don't want that shit. They don't want it. The only time they did, because they're afraid of what it means. They're afraid that if they do allow for, or if they get everybody on board for crossplay, well, guess what's going to fucking happen? People are not going to double dip with their DLC, and it's so ridiculous. I have to keep fucking repeating that. That's how I know that there's fanboys there, and they don't want to hear any kind of fucking truth. They want to be outraged, and the same thing goes with just everything on the internet nowadays. It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. People were crying about fucking what the fuck was it? A Red Dead Redemption, and they had like a silhouette of 4 characters in the fucking sunset for their icon or for their whatever the title. There's no female characters. Who gives a fuck? The developer didn't want that shit. And then the same thing with Battlefield. The same Griffin Gaming, which he, I guess he's young, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know the ways of the world just yet. You know what I mean? He's also openly admitted that he prefers Xbox over, PlayStation as well. But then he complains about so much fucking shit that everybody else complains about. But I digress from that because it's going to irritate me. Here we go. This dude is crying about how Battlefield has a female character and is a social justice warrior type shit. All right, cool. So you're right. It does have that shit. You're absolutely fucking right. You're right. But here's the problem, though. The problem is, quite frankly, like, a developer is going to do whatever the fuck a developer is going to do to make money. And people need to fucking understand that. They're not doing it for a charity. So if they feel like they can get female gamers into the shit, then that's what the fuck they're going to do. It's no, like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, they're not, what's the word I'm looking for, or what's the phrase I'm actually looking for? It's you know, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. You know what I mean? Yes, you can be upset about it, but run into fucking social media and being a fucking keyboard crusader and just complaining about every fucking thing. You have a very sorry life if you continue to do that shit. You know what I mean? Do something that fucking matters. Back when Microsoft, what, 4 years ago, when they said that, you know what I mean, that they didn't want no fucking used games and shit like that. Yes, that is something that everybody needed to show, and they did vote with their fucking wallets. That's why Microsoft is in the case that they are in now. And don't believe for a second that they're doing that shit. You know, all this cross, what do you call it, backwards compatibility and shit like that. They're not doing that shit for you. They're doing it to save face. And as soon as they get a fucking chance, they're gonna switch it up like they did with the 360. They did the same fucking thing. They were all about the games, and then they went on this Connect thing. And then when Connect died, they went straight to fucking Netflix, which inevitably led to them talking about TV for the Xbox One. That's the kind of company that they are. They don't give a fuck about anything except for new trends. And the guy that's running Microsoft right now, Xbox is on fucking thin ice. And this is why they're catering to the fucking PC. They're catering to the fucking PC. Because they know that if they can tie it into the PC, because PC gaming isn't going anywhere. But if they can tie Xbox Live with the PC, they can keep their sector open. That's why they're doing what the fuck they're doing, and no one seems to fucking know or understand or whatever the case is. It's just like everybody parrots shit on the internet, and it's very, very irritating. But I must digress before I fucking lose my fucking mind. Like I can't deal with it. I honestly can't. It's really getting on my nerves. Everywhere you go, there's somebody fucking complaining. Like even on Facebook, I'll say this before I go. Um, I don't really. I go on Facebook just to kind of, I don't really. I post funny shit. I don't post anything about my life, like literally on Facebook. Um, One person was talking about how Terry Crews, everybody was calling out Terry Crews. This big ass fucking man talking about some guy fondled his fucking balls for minutes and repeatedly, like multiple times. All right, cool. So we know that you're a big black man. You could have thrown him through the fucking building. All right, cool. We're not talking about violence. But why are you letting this nigga rub on your cock so many times? And then you keep playing these gay roles over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm not condoning what they're doing. I'm not. But I'm sure you could have moved this nigga's hands away from you, but like, yo, nigga, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, chill out. And then went to the fucking cops. You gonna let him rub you, and then you gonna run to your wife. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then he comes around and rubs you again. And then on Facebook they talk about how could you? This is why there's no equality. Men could get raped too. It's just the way that he went about it. That sounds fucking fishy. Get over it. But anyway, I digress with all of this shit. I just had to let that shit out. And I appreciate all of it, anybody who watches this shit. I really appreciate it. Just don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on these particular videos. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can better the channel. I appreciate it, guys. Until next time, thanks.